Good morning and happy Wednesday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation. We are coming to you live again from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned on this Wednesday. Happy to be here again, live. Yesterday, obviously, we were pre-recorded. Did a little work on the radio yesterday, filling in for the great Vince.
It was so good.
Alongside producer Jim yesterday in the national slot, 12 to 3. That was crazy. That was a lot of fun. It was a good time, good feedback. Appreciate everybody who stuck around, heard that. And also appreciate everybody who was here and very supportive of our show here, despite the fact that we were not here live. So I was told we hit Mo yesterday at a good moment, so we're going to honk him. Thank you. What is this now that my mom heard the B-2s flying over again last night? Oh, I wonder if we're about to bomb Iran.
I don't know.
Bomb Iran. Come on. Where are my Beach Boys
that was
at?
A really nice little note that you hit there.
Yeah,
Do it again.
I can't. We got lucky that didn't come out sounding like roadkill. Okay. Good morning. And it is a glorious morning, and I'll tell you why. Now, unfortunately, I have to say this. I get this out of the way.
What?
Mark's Madness and Jason King. I'm not supposed to say this, but they're going to be announcing a class action lawsuit against the Trump administration for stealing the middle finger yesterday. So, did we all see it? Did we all see the middle finger?
Yeah.
Heard around the world. Cody from X. Oh, gosh. I hope I didn't lose this message. This was good. I just jumped over in the X chat and I saw Cody. Sean hitting the high notes still better than the liberals singing. Oh, yeah.
Make Himley mad.
Oh, yeah. But there was also a video that Jim sent me yesterday. Remember that one of the Native Americans banging the drum before they were doing like the land acknowledgement before this Washington state.
Imagine just being that weird all the time. It's
out of control. But they were like, oh! I was just waiting for one of them to go beef jerky time, just like on the train from on Trading Places. It's such a great movie, such a great movie. Anyway, you guys all saw it, I'm sure. The middle finger heard round the world, and it's every time. And I'm just going to share this, and I think I've shared this with you before. But every time these liberal idiots start melting down over something that they see Trump do or whatever it might be, these people absolutely hate it when you call it a meltdown. They did. For some reason, the word meltdown, it triggers them to just go absolutely crazy. Now, I wouldn't say the left is melting down if they weren't melting down.
Right.
Maybe, and here's a word of advice, not that you're going to listen to me, but, I'd like to be able to come back and say, I told you so in about a week when you do this all over again. Maybe stop melting down all the time, and I wouldn't have to keep pointing out that you guys are melting down. And especially don't melt down over the word meltdown. So I encourage everybody who sees liberals melting down over the bird heard round the world. I encourage anybody who sees those meltdown, call it a meltdown and then just sit back and watch. Because I had one comment this morning which was great. It was just amazing, right? No one, see, this is what I love when I say that the left is, I made a post yesterday on X that said, libs are melting down over the Trump middle finger. Today is a great day. And then I get one in the chat like this. No one is melting down because we're not surprised that a brain-damaged old man would disgrace the office by doing such a gesture. That's a meltdown. Now, no one is melting down while the person proceeds to actually melt down. Look at Anita. She posted in the... in reply to this guy, Queen Anita posted, the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm melting. Let me drop a reply here. This is great. This is a perfect use of this GIF. Perfect use of this GIF. There it is. Bang. Anita posted in response to this guy, I'm melting, the Wicked Witch of the West. All right. If you didn't see it, if you were living, under a rock somewhere last week, Donald Trump flipped somebody off yesterday who was heckling him. And, I know there's like a bunch of people like, ooh, he must be some snowflake. He didn't like mean words. Guys, I don't know how long I'd have patience for dopes and idiots and morons to scream stupid things at me, but I definitely wouldn't have as much patience as Donald Trump has had. He's been dealing with this for 10 years, okay? 10 years. These aren't like little innocuous things. It's like, oh, you stole a presidential election with Russia. Now that's one thing, and they're calling him a pedophile. And that the new term between the left and the woke right, by the way, there's no difference. There is no difference between somebody like Dave Smith, okay, and Mark Ruffalo. They're the same person. Both of them are not talented. Both of them are not funny. Both of them are slobs. Both of them are not intelligent. And both of them complain and whine and bitch all day on the internet, offer no solutions, and provide no value to anything. They're the same person. Woke left, woke right, same people. They're using the same language now. I thought you were a pedophile protector. Oh, really? Why? How? What pedophiles are any of us protecting? Jeffrey Epstein. You can't protect him. He's dead. The people who are with Jeffrey Epstein. Who are those people? Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was with Jeffrey Epstein. And what evidence do you have that he did the things that you think he did? I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying if you want to throw somebody in jail, you can't just do it just because. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Bill Clinton refused to testify in the Epstein probe, and the House GOP and Hillary as well are looking to hold him in contempt of Congress. I say give him the Bannon and Navarro treatment, absolutely. But I love all of these people on the internet look, listen, you may be a blue collar guy. You may not be a blue collar guy. You may be somebody who's working. And look, I don't care. You have a job. You're paying your bills as long as it's within the confines of the law. I really don't care. But like overnight, when these people don't get what they want, and this goes for anybody who doesn't get what they want all the time, they come up with like these complex legal theories about how somebody's a sellout or someone's taking money or something. And it blows my mind. You're literally a failed comedian, Dave Smith, or any of these people, right? And it's like you now all of a sudden know everything about everything regarding foreign policy, the law, who did what. You apparently have seen evidence that may not exist. And this happens across the board. It's not just with Epstein, but this has been like the most recent example. But it's like the same thing. Every time someone dies, it has to be because of the COVID vaccine. Every time. Really? I'm not saying these vaccines are good for you. I didn't get it. And anybody who did get it, I'm like, okay, you may have a problem. But seriously, 100% of every death in the world is because of the COVID vaccine? Seriously? Seriously? The deputy director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, when he was in the office, who's only allowed to talk about what evidence exists, is protecting pedophiles by saying what? That because he said that Epstein killed himself? Listen, the details and circumstances surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's death definitely give me, it definitely makes you go, maybe something's funny there. Maybe something's funny there. And the meme for a while was Epstein didn't kill himself. Ooh, we know the truth. But I have always remained open to the possibility, even if I don't think it's a likely possibility, that Epstein actually killed himself. I've been open to it. If you're somebody who has made up their mind based off of nothing but your opinion, I don't want to have a conversation with you. And I can't have a conversation with you because there's no point in having a conversation with somebody who's already had their mind made up. Okay? And so, these woke leftists, these woke rightists, whatever you want to call them, perpetually mad, perpetually outraged, and this is part of the problem too. They are outrage addicts. It feels good for them to be mad about something. That's part of it. It's like a habit. It feels good to them every day. Every day Dave Smith wakes up, he's like, what can I blame on Jews today? What can I bitch and moan about today on the internet? What can I cry and whine about on Megyn Kelly's show again? What can I be outraged over today? These people are addicted to outrage. They're addicted to it. If they woke up one morning and everything was like perfect, they'd probably kill themselves because they'd have nothing to be mad. They'd be mad that things are good. They've got no purpose in life other than to just be annoyed all day long. And it's crazy. It's literally a mental illness. Outrage addicts. It is a diagnosable mental condition, and they are candidates. For the small room, big needle, long nap treatment, as far as I'm concerned. But these leftists and, self-righteous, sanctimonious people, I did not vote for this. For what? For the president to drop a middle finger on somebody who's being an a-hole in the crowd at Michigan? Really? You didn't vote for that? Yes, you did. You voted for a guy who was born in Queens, New York, and grew up in New York City, and was on many a job site of the blue-collar worker. You did. You voted for that guy. You loved it when he said only Rosie O'Donnell to Megyn Kelly. You loved it when he called when he insulted Marco Rubio's manhood. You back in the 2016 debates. You loved it when he dropped an F-bomb. You loved it when he dropped the F-bomb when he was talking about Israel earlier. They don't know what they're doing. Remember that? You loved it then. Now all of a sudden it's a bad thing when he flips the bird. Give me a break. Enough. It's a finger. It's a gesture. You voted, you leftist morons voted for Rashida Tlaib, who said, we're going to impeach the mother. Remember that in 2018? Or is that, no, it's okay because she was speaking out against Donald Trump. It's okay when she does it. Oh, okay. So to anybody who's like, I'm offended by the middle finger. The president, it's below the office of the presidency to give somebody the middle finger. Just shut up. You know what? Take that whining back to whatever HOA you crawled out of and go be a Karen over there because we don't need that. Okay? I'm running out of pearls to clutch. It's so childish. Shut up. Just shut your mouths, please. I'm going to show you the bird heard around the world in just a second. Before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends at OFP Farms. It's OFPFarms.com. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean. Until this weekend it ends, the New Year's sale over at OFP Farms. They're making room for new seasonal products by clearing out their shelves, and that sale ends this weekend. Many items are already discounted. You can enjoy savings of up to 50% off by using your code Sean, SHAWN, at checkout. OFPFarms.com. Take advantage of this because that sale is ending this weekend. So if there's any last-minute OFP Farm stuff you want to grab, while the discount is big and beautiful, head over to ofpfarms.com and use the promo code Sean, S-H-A-W-N, ofpfarms.com, promo code Sean, ofpfarms.com, promo code S-H-A-W-N for up to 50% off on their website, ofpfarms.com, promo code S-H-A-W-N, ofpfarms.com, promo code Sierra, Hotel Alpha Whiskey November. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. You ever heard of the platform Cameo? I am a part of a competitor to that platform. It's called Shoutout. It's an amazing platform. Now you can get a personalized video shout-out from yours truly, your favorite president, and other top conservative voices on Shoutout. Shoutout is a new way to connect with your favorite personalities and roast your liberal friends. You can wish somebody a happy birthday, get advice, or gift a personalized shout-out from your favorite conservative personalities like Haley Carania of Silverlock, Steven Crowder's crew, Jeremy Harrell, and so many more. You know, there's always an occasion right around the corner, and a personalized video shout-out's a perfect last-minute gift for your loved ones. Say something special in a way that they will never forget. Say it with a shout-out. Use the link shoutout.us/Sean, S-H-A-W-N, or shoutout.us/Jeremy to get 15% off of your order today. That's shoutout.us/Sean or shoutout.us/Jeremy, as in Jeremy Harrell. There it is. Shoutout's a great platform. So check it out and make it happen. Make it happen. There you go. Let's get to Bird. Has everybody heard about the bird? What is it?
The bird.
Everybody knows that the bird is the word. I said the bird. Bird is the word. I said the bird. The Ramones version of that song is the best, by the way.
Oh, I'm thinking Family Guy.
The Ramones version of that song is the best. Here it is, folks. And before anybody asks, oh, did you really vote for this? I was so offended. The F word is a word I've never used in my effing life. What'd you say? Yeah, I love these folks. Like, unless you're Phillip Rivers, who I've never heard him say a foul word. It's actually really fun. If you guys want to see so Phillip Rivers, obviously the quarterback, NFL, the whole thing, pro-life guy and all this. He was one of like the most prolific trash talkers in NFL history, and they mic'd him up a lot. He never cussed. Like, no, he's like, that annoys the stew out of me. Stew. Sugar, honey, iced tea, Phillip. And he wouldn't do it. He doesn't like to do that. And it's really funny to hear him. He's just, shoot, crap, like, it's just so funny. But there's a guy like, if he wants to be like offended by cuss words, okay, he doesn't. But most people have dropped some profanity in their day, so enough. Here's Donald Trump yesterday. The bird heard round the world. Bird is the word. And Mark's Madness and Jason King are going to be announcing a class action lawsuit against the Trump administration for plagiarism, because this is their thing. I'm on your side. This is their thing. It's a term of endearment. Maybe it was a term of endearment, like Mark and Jason use it for each other. Maybe Donald Trump was just calling this guy number one. Who knows? Look at this. There he is. F you. F you. Fly that bird high. There it is. I love it. I love it. F you. F you. Bam! It was just
hilarious.
Freaking great. Okay? Freaking great. You know what? For those of you in the chat, drop a bird in the chat and let's send a message to the left that we're not here for. We're not dealing with your meltdowns, okay? It was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Drop a bird in the chat. Let's have nothing but birds in the chat. How about that? Let's do a bird dominated chat. You ready? Look, we'll play this one more time when we get to the chat. Look at that. A lot of birds in the chat. There he is. There he is. Keep those birds coming. Bird. There it is. Here, look at that. Look at all the birds. Look at that. We're bird watching. Look at this. That is the North American FU bird. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. We're bird watching. Right, Brennan, give me your binoculars. Oh. You actually have a set of binoculars. It's a beautiful prop. Look.
I use them for bird watching.
I could do like we're doing. Look. As we look at the birds, the flock of birds are flying, and they're very angry with somebody. as we're bird watching.
Sean knows a thing or two about birds because he got that beak.
Look at that. Are we still getting birds in the chat? Yeah, look at
yeah.
this. Unbelievable. It's like Richard Attenborough. We're bird watching. It's the North American FU bird. All right, there it is. Here we go. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That was a fun bit. Oh! You know what, for good measure? We'll just give you another bird. Look at that. Bang! The bird is the word. All right. On to more serious business, ladies and gentlemen. On to more serious business. Are the Democrats about to shut the government down again, this time over ICE funding? Is that where they're going with this? You know, the Democrats they absolutely love the government shutdown, right? I mean, they performed well within their own party back in 2025, in October of 2025, during the Schumer siesta, right? They loved it. They loved it, right? Are the Democrats getting ready to shut the government down over ICE funding? Is this the angle? Is this the angle? Here, this is on the Hill. The fatal shooting of an unarmed... Look at the way the Hill is. The fatal shooting of an unarmed woman in Minneapolis by a federal law enforcement officer is threatening to blow up fragile negotiations over government spending that will be coming to a head later this month, creating challenges for leaders in both parties. House lawmakers have already approved 6 of the 12 funding bills for fiscal year 2026, and bipartisan appropriators were on track to reach a delicate agreement on the remaining bills, which are expected to move as 2 larger packages over the next 2 weeks. But last week's killing of 37-year-old Renee Good by a U.S. ICE agent in Minneapolis has infuriated Democrats in both chambers, some of whom are now threatening to withhold their support for funding for the Department of Homeland Security to demand reforms of the agency, being ICE. There are a lot of Democrats who want to see safeguards put on what ICE is doing, said one House Democrat who requested anonymity to discuss the party's evolving strategy. Chatter increased around using DHS funding bill as a cudgel after Chris Murphy from Connecticut, an appropriator, called for a series of constraints aimed at taking on the Department of Homeland Security. Quote, "It is hard to imagine how Democrats are going to vote for a DHS bill that funds this level of illegality and violence without constraints," Murphy told Axios last week. There's got to be some reasonable constraints. All right. Okay. So the Democrats are obviously looking for an excuse to shut the government down, and they may have found one, okay? They may have found one. And you know for a fact that if the Democrats go, "We are shutting the government down because we don't want to fund ICE," the barking seals that follow them and support them, they are going to love it. They're going to eat it up. They're just going to eat it up. So if you are Senate Majority Leader John Thune, and this is the approach that the Democrats take over the next 17 days, well, we're just going to shut the government down. We don't want to fund ICE. You have one option. You have one option.
Nuke them. Let's nuke the bastards.
Nuke the bastards! Nuke the filibuster! Nuke them. Love that scene from Independence Day. It's such a great scene. Nuke the filibuster. Do it without him. If the Democrats, and we know all they want to do is obstruct, and we know their poll numbers, especially internally within their own party, skyrocket when they stage these government shutdowns. If they don't want to be a part of the solution, they are not just a part of the problem, they are the problem. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. If you're not going to lead, then you're going to follow. If you're not going to follow, get out of the way. Nuke the filibuster. Do this without them and prove to the country that Republicans are actually serious about governing and moving things along. Americans voted overwhelmingly for the Trump agenda to be passed, to be codified, and to be put into action. The Democrats are standing in the way of that, as we know they would. As they always do. You can get around that. Nuke the filibuster. Nuke them. Let's nuke the bastards. Nuke them. Nuke the filibuster. Do it without them. We don't need them. We don't want them. Nuke it and move on. Just move on. Just move on. I think nuking the filibuster is the best option right now, because then you don't have to worry about the Democrats, do you? Then you don't have to worry about the Democrats. So if they're going to shut the government down over funding for ICE, then you nuke the filibuster and you make them powerless. And I understand that it is a double-edged sword. And I understand that if and when the Democrats get, power of the House and the Senate and the White House again, that they're definitely going to, they're going to have their way with things. And it would be upon us at that point, incumbent upon us to make sure that doesn't happen. But at this point, I see no other solution. Okay, I see no other. What, are you going to work with them? What are you going to, you're going to neuter ICE because you don't want the government to shut down? Is a much better option. Take the filibuster, throw it in the garbage. It's not even a constitutional item. It's a stupid tradition that has been watered down in the Senate that was supposed to foster compromise, that is only fostering gridlock at this point. Just get rid of it. And then you don't have to worry about what Chuck Schumer or Chris Murphy or any of these idiots on the left are saying. Then it's like, okay, you want to have a press conference? Great. We're getting work done on Capitol Hill. And we're doing it without you. No problem. No problem. All right, quick break. Very quick break. We're going to get to a word from our friends over at Silent. It's slnt.com. slnt.com/Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November. Silent.com. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, your phone. You know what your phone does? Your phone is a tracking device. It's a tracking device between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, even cyber criminals. They're all fighting for a piece of your digital footprint, and they're not asking. They just go on and they take it. That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, including cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. You know what no signal means? It means no tracking, no remote access, and no breadcrumbs. It's the same technology trusted by special operations teams around the world, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now it is available to you to protect your family, protect your freedom, and secure your digital footprint. All you got to do is drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve and it is off the grid. Completely silent and invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to their sleeves to their crossbody, Silent's patented technology gives you control of your privacy. Visit slnt.com/Sean to get 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. That is silent.com, slnt.com/Sean. Protect your rights, secure your data, and stay one step ahead. Silent.com, slnt.com. Silence the chaos and go silent today. Of course, that's slnt.com/Sean, slnt.com/SHAWN. All right, the middle fingers are still flying in this chat. It's just a flock of birds. Look at that. It's a flock. Look at that flock. What a beautiful flock. There's still bird watching out there. There's less birds, but look at that. There was just a lot of birds in the chat again. I love that. Did the chat break? It might have. The birds, there it is. Mo gives the middle paw to damn commies and grifters. Yes. Yes, Mo, you know what?
Mo knows what's up.
Mo knows what's up. Look. Let's see if I can. He's like, F you, a little premature honk. F you. Mo's giving a little premature honk. Mo's giving a nice bird to the rest of the idiots. All right. Here's another important piece from Breitbart, piece of news here. Donald Trump and the administration allegedly or apparently or reportedly going to be halting any payments to sanctuary cities starting on February 1st, which I believe is the right move. Trump says the federal government will halt any payments to sanctuary jurisdictions, those localities and states that refuse to cooperate with immigration and customs enforcement beginning next month. Speaking at the Detroit Economic Club yesterday, Trump announced that his administration will be cutting off federal money to sanctuary jurisdictions for their attempts to impede ICE from enforcing federal immigration law. Quote, starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens. And it breeds fraud and crime and all the other problems that come. So we're not making any payments to anybody that supports sanctuary. It is unclear which funds and grants will be cut off by the administration or which sanctuary jurisdictions. Previously, the DOJ has listed more than 30 cities, counties, and states that it classifies as sanctuary jurisdictions. The Center for Immigration Studies, though, has listed well over 100 sanctuary jurisdictions that work to stop ICE agents from taking custody of criminal illegal aliens. You know which way this is going to go. You know which way they're gonna do this, and then there's gonna be a lawsuit and some sort of preliminary injunction and all this blah 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 blah. And again, this is going to be doing is getting in the way of Americans getting the results that they want, that we voted for. Now, I remember saying this back on Monday, and then yesterday on the radio show, producer Jim had put together a montage of these people talking about, that you can't use the term say her name. Okay. So on Monday, the title of Monday's show was, "This will not become George Floyd 2.0. Not. This will not become George Floyd 2.0. I've seen a lot of people, some of whom I respect, say this is George Floyd 2.0. Respectfully, I disagree. And I'm going to explain to you why I disagree. The biggest element missing from this ICE shooting is what? Live chat. Let's go. You're on the spot. Pop quiz. The biggest issue, the biggest dynamic missing from this ICE shooting between the officer and Renee Nicole Good. What is the biggest dynamic missing and the biggest difference between
She's white.
2020 and now?
She's white.
Speaks got it. Brennan's got it. Sheba's got it. KWA's got it. Lessa's got it. 217, man. Look at that. Look at that. Race. Race is missing. Race is missing. Yeah, melanin. Winky's got it. POC. It speaks of George Floyd, World War VI. I'm sure Alex Jones is up to that already. Right there, look, not. Look at that. Turn on the frog. Look at Emerald. Black Americans want no part of it. Yes. That is what is missing. And the other thing that's missing, and I don't want this to be watered down or lost in the conversation because of the racial element, is the fact that there are multiple videos already made available to us that we can see that Renee Nicole Good drove at and into a federal officer with his gun drawn. Right? So go back to 2020 for just a second and think about when the George Floyd incident happened. What happened right after that? We got one video and one picture, essentially, of Derek Chauvin with George Floyd on the ground, and it looked bad, right? And that was just weaponized and spun up as, this white police officer put his knee on the neck of a black guy who said he can't breathe, and he killed him, and this whole thing. And then after that, we found out about the fentanyl and that it wasn't actually on his neck, but it was on his shoulder blade and all this other stuff, right? But immediately following the death of George Floyd, you had that one picture circulating, that one video circulating, the I can't breathe stuff circulating, and it was easy. All the ingredients were there to bake this racial injustice, police brutality, equality, Black Lives Matter cake. You don't have that this time either. You've got independent media who has gotten a hold of Alpha News, etc., who's gotten a hold of all of these different videos, whether it's the body cam, cell phone cam, security footage of Renee Nicole Good driving into the agent before getting shot and killed. So that disarms the narrative that this agent just did it, for sport or in cold blood. He did it in self-defense. But the biggest thing missing, yes, is the racial element. The biggest thing missing is the racial element. And that is the left's fault. Because what the left did in 2020 and, onward from there and forward from there, what the left did, was they polarized whites and non-whites. They segregated them. They used identity politics. They brought about that nonsense, that white guilt crap, right? Remember that? White guilt. You have to feel bad for being white. But what they really did, and I don't think they realized this, was they radicalized a significant portion of the black community. Radicalized them. Radicalized them to hate white people. And that's the point. Now, I don't know how many of these types of people thinking this way exist, but I have a feeling, because of the lack of Black Lives Matter presence in these riots in Minneapolis, I have a feeling that there is a very strong thought camp among liberal black activists and the black community on the left, that they're not upset that Renee Nicole Good lost her life, that they actually think it's okay because she's white. Now, I have no data to support that whatsoever, other than the lack of participation from the Black Lives Matter chapters in Minneapolis. Other than the reporting that we had yesterday on Trump Tuesday, Mark Naughton's space, from Chad Caton, who we love, who was up in Minneapolis, who said the black community wants nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, Chad Caton said his Uber driver said he didn't really care. His Uber driver was black. Said he didn't really care because the victim was white. So there's a lot. The left caused this racial strife, and now it's resulting in less people taking to the streets because BLM wants no part of this. BLM wants no part of this because the victim wasn't, quote unquote, one of theirs. It wasn't one of their own. That's the biggest dynamic that's missing, and that is why this will not become George Floyd 2.0. It just won't. The racial dynamic is missing, and the video that we've seen exonerates the officer, and everybody with a working brain and an IQ above room temperature can see that video footage exonerates the officer. But I want to show you. This is what some members, and I'm not trying to overgeneralize about blacks because that's not what we're doing. I'm just showing you examples of what I'm saying to support the idea that I think this won't be George Floyd 2.0 because the racial element is missing. And as a matter of fact, there's still like strife there. You got members now of the black community saying you cannot even use the phrase "say her name" because apparently that's reserved for black people only. Watch this.
Hey, so I'm not trying to be rude at all, but "say her name" is specifically reserved for black women. That chant started as a direct result, and I remember because I was an organizer at the time. It started in the early days of the Black Lives Matter protests. I mean, like Trayvon Martin early days, when black women who were also being victimized to police brutality, like Sandra Bland, like Rakia Boyd, oh my God, the list is endless. They were not getting the same coverage as black men and boys who were also being victimized. That's not to say that they are not important. It's to say that the black girls and the black women were completely ignored. Hence, "say her name." While I understand the severity of what just transpired, it is also important to recognize that that does not mean that you should co-opt other people's movements. Black women own that for a very good reason. Rest in peace to Renee. But "say her name" is not reserved for white women, respectfully. Again, not even trying to play semantics, but it actually does matter. That's it.
I'm not even trying to play semantics, but you can't use that phrase to talk about a white girl. Okay, got it. Okay, all right. I mean, a white person would not be allowed to come on and say blacks can't use that phrase. There would be sirens going off immediately at the woo, racism.
It must be exhausting to always be that like focused on skin color.
It's like
I would be exhausted.
He kind of looked tired.
He did look a little tired.
Yeah, here's another one. This is a female saying the same thing. Watch.
Rest in peace to Renee Nicole Good. And may God continue to bless and comfort her family during this horrible, difficult time. But the hashtag Say Her Name is not for Renee. Say Her Name is specifically for Black women who have been killed by police and police-sanctioned violence here in this country, created in 2014. See, we don't need to say her name. We know her name. Say Her Name was created because no one was saying the names of Black women. No one was acknowledging them. No one was ever acknowledging, admitting to, or taking accountability for their deaths. That's where the hashtag originated from. Sandra Bland, Rakia Boyd, Corinne Gaines, Breonna Taylor, Sonia Massey, and Shelley Frey, Kayla Moore, and so many, many others. Say Her Name is for so many Black women erased by police violence. So let's not erase them any further by letting that hashtag be used by others. Justice for Renee Good, and jail for anybody that had any part in her killing and her death.
It's almost like they were using the same script. You notice that? It kind of sounded like they were using the same script, both of those individuals. And both of them were doing it on TikTok. You know, it kind of seems coordinated there. Okay, so you can't say, quote unquote, say her name about Renee Nicole Good because she's white. And that phrase is specifically, apparently now, reserved. They've reserved a phrase. I didn't realize that you could do that. Like a table at a restaurant. Hey, can I have a reservation table for 5 at 7 o'clock? Yeah, it's yours. When you come here, just give us your name. I didn't realize you could reserve a phrase for a particular race of people. It's reserved. You're not allowed to use it if you're white. Okay. Does that kind of sound like, hey, that water fountain is reserved for whites and you're not allowed to use it if you're black? Does that kind of sound familiar? Because it sounds like we're going down the exact same road of segregation. And we've been saying that about what the left has done to minority communities, non-whites, over the last couple of decades. It's exactly what's going on. So now people who, you know, are for whatever reason outraged over what happened to Renee Nicole Good, they're not allowed to use certain hashtags because those hashtags and those phrases are reserved for a particular race of people. Are you kidding me? That right there that I just played for you, that is why this is not going to become George Floyd 2.0. Because there is a segment of the left and their activist class that doesn't genuinely feel that bad. Yeah, I know she died, but don't you dare use that hashtag because that's reserved for black women, not white. We know her name. We know her name. That's why we don't have to say her name. Oh, okay. Got it. All right. All right. It's nice to know that you can just reserve, you know, different phrases and whatnot, you know, based on race. I had no idea you could do that. I thought we were past things like that, but I guess not. I guess not. Moose for Trump. You're right, Sean. It sounds like we are going down the road of segregation. We're absolutely going down the road of segregation. No, you can't use that. That's reserved for a different race. Oh, really? Oh, really? What happened to the equality thing where like everybody is treated equally? Is that gone? Are we done? I'm just, again, remember this? Rules. What are the rules, leftists? I need to know what the rules are. I'm ready to write them down. What are the freaking rules? Because they seem to be changing every single day. The rules seem to be changing. I don't like when the rules change. I like to know what the rules are so I can follow the rules and play by the rules. So anyone goes, well, you cheated. No, I play by the rules. You guys gave me the rules. I followed them. You can't just change them all the time. I thought we were doing equality and everybody's treated equal and nobody's treated different by the color of their skin. But apparently, you know, you can't even use certain phrases based on the color of your skin. I'm not talking even about slurs. Say her name. These are 3 innocuous words, innocent words. No, you can't say that. You can't say that if you're talking about a white girl because it's specifically reserved for black people. Okay, well then you can't drink out of that water fountain because it's specifically reserved for white people. No, that's segregation. It's the same thing. You're literally doing the same thing. You are saying people, based on how much melanin they have in their skin, can or can't do certain things or say certain things. It's the same thing. When are people going to wake up to that? It's the exact same thing. All right. I want to get to the Supreme Court yesterday. This was amusing. You hear they were hearing the oral arguments of the trans and women's sports, men and women's sports arguments yesterday. And I want to play a clip of that. It's about 2 minutes long of Ketanji Brown Jackson and a bunch of these idiots arguing I just can't believe we're even arguing this at the Supreme Court, but we'll get to that in just a second. But first, a word from our friends at goldencrestmetals.com/LFA.
Hey everybody, Jeremy Harrell here. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about gold and silver. When I was a kid, I always wondered what Fort Knox must look like. And when I was a kid, I always envisioned that when you would walk into Fort Knox, you would see just gold everywhere, literally raining gold, kind of like what you see behind me right now. Unfortunately, as a grown-up, I don't have that kind of imagination anymore, and I don't even have that much trust that Fort Knox has the 5,000 tons of gold that we're supposed to have there. Meaning that decades ago, we went off the gold standard in this country, which took the value of our dollar down to just mere pennies. And since our federal government doesn't want to go back to a gold standard currency, then it's time to us to take matters into our own hands. Have you ever thought about buying gold and silver? Have you ever thought about taking portions of your IRA or your 401k or your nest egg or your savings and putting it into gold and silver, either all or a portion of it? Have you ever wanted to purchase silver like this in bullion or premium? I know I do. And I know I wanted to take matters back into my own hands, which is why I have worked with Golden Crest Metals to do that. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA is going to be your go-to, absolutely transparent and trusted partner. Now, you can go to that website or you can call 888-308-4202. And what the good thing about this is they're going to guide you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to guide you. They're going to give you all the answers to your questions. And there's going to be no hidden fees. It's completely transparent. No hidden fees. No pressure, no surprise markups whatsoever. Clients get to see everything before they purchase. They've even agreed to lower the minimum investment to the LFA audience in order to make sure that everybody has access to this. Free IRA storage, free insured shipping, and a full range of precious metals from gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And if it's easier for you to just maybe click a QR code, well, guess what? We've got that available for you too. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. Click this QR code on your screen and it'll take you right there. GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA. Again, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA, or call 888-308-4202 today to reach these guys. They're going to be a great partner for you, just as they have been for me, and we absolutely recommend here at LFA TV, GoldenCrestMetals.com/LFA.
All right, goldencrestmetals.com/LFA. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Golden Crest, for being a part of the show. Brennan, is it Mo time yet?
Oh gosh, let me see.
Can you double check? I see rumors that I just don't want people to be illegally
it is
telling us that Mo. All right, here we go. Here's the hog. We'll honk him. Whoa!
Wow.
This is the third time you're seeing Mo today, by the way. We had one for yesterday, of course. One today with the middle finger. And now one because you've earned it because we hit 800 thumbs up. So keep it coming. Keep it coming. Thank you, everybody, for hitting that like button. It helps us fly up the charts. Also, speaking of the charts, we have the audio side of things, the audio podcast. It's just the audio version of this. You obviously miss out on a lot of the video. Like, for example, you won't see the bird, but a lot of people do listen on audio. So we try and keep it as audio-friendly as possible. Go on any of the audio podcasting platforms. Just search Ungoverned. Hit subscribe. Helps us fly up the charts. We've been reaching a ton of people over there, which is like amazing. Here's some arguments. The Supreme Court, they are leaning towards upholding the ban on men and women's sports, which is good. All right, it's very good. But here are some of the arguments that took place yesterday, the oral arguments. And look, I'm listening to this going, we're really arguing this in the highest court of the land? Like, don't they have better things to hear? So here is the Supreme Court on, or arguments that were in front of the Supreme Court with this trans or men and women's sports lawsuit that the court now is hearing because apparently they don't have something better to do, and we have to have cases like this. It's ridiculous, but listen.
Classification. And so to the extent that you have an individual who says what is happening in this law is that it is treating someone who is transgender but who does not have, because of the medical interventions and the things that have been done, who does not have the same threat to physical competition and safety and all of the reasons that the state puts forward, that's actually a different class, says this individual. So you're not treating the class the same, and you're not, how do you respond to that? In other words, the as-applied challenge essentially redefines the class, or one could think of it as that. And so what's wrong with that, number one, and how do you square that with our holdings in Caban, which Lair later described in this way? In other words, Lair suggested that Caban was establishing that as-applied challenges of this nature do exist.
Certainly, take the second question first.
Yes.
Caban says nothing about as-applied. I know that Lair says later this was an as-applied case, but simply reading Caban, it does not say that. It simply applies intermediate.
No, I understand, but those two cases were in juxtaposition with one another,
Yes.
and Lair comes out the way it does, distinguishing Caban on the basis that it's an as-applied challenge, and we in Lair have a facial challenge, and it's basically the same facts. So if you're right, those two cases can't come out the way they do.
I don't think so, Your Honor. Again, Lair was actually briefed as a standing argument of maybe you might be able to argue that this law is overbroad, but you individually are not in the overbroad part, and therefore you don't get to challenge it. The court didn't use standing language, like express standing language in the opinion, but that is the logic of the opinion.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
There's another way to think about the case your friends on the other side posit, and that is that...
What did she even say? When producer Jim brought that one to my attention yesterday, he was like, I don't even know what she said. Yeah, wait. There's a prop for this. Where is it? There it is. Katanji. The word salad fork. The word salad fork is back. We will fight in the shade. Ho, 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 right? The word salad fork. What a cute little fork. Come on, guys.
What a cute little fork.
What the hell did she even say? And the best part about this is she's making like this, I guess, argument or this line of questioning in defense of men and women's sports when the lady, Ketanji Brown Jackson, when asked, hey, how would you define woman? Oh, I don't know. I'm not a biologist. What? It's like, Brennan, how would you define rain? No, I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. Oh, okay. All right. No problem. What? I just... But she's expert enough to make the arguments in the Supreme Court and essentially make the argument that trans and biological males should be allowed in female sports. But she can't define female. Okay. Whatever floats your boat.
Clown world.
Ketanji Brown, Goo Jackson. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know I'm always on the lookout. This is Armor Colostrum. We love colostrum. Mm-hmm. I do.
Sean loves it. I like it too, but Sean is like number one fan.
I'm all about the colostrum. It's been great. Armor Colostrum. Tryarmor.com/LFA TV. You guys know that I am always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and increase my skin and hair radiance. That is what Armor Colostrum can do for you. And a whole lot more if you go to tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Colostrum is the very first nutrition that we receive in life. And it contains all of the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Check it out. It can help you reactivate your hair growth. It can help your skin glow. It can help fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism. Well, I take probiotics. Well, that stinks because probiotics only address one part of the 4-part gut wall. And most probiotic products are already dead by the time they reach your gut. but Armor Colostrum naturally fortifies your entire gut wall system. It optimizes your microbiome, and it strengthens the gut wall architecture, which guards against irritants that can trigger symptoms like bloating and constipation. Nobody wants that. Okay? It can also fuel your fitness, performance, and recovery. Check it out at tryarmra.com. TRYARMRA.com. Tryarmor.com/LFA-TV. Tryarmor.com/LFA-TV for 15, if not 30% off of your first order. That's Tryarmor, TRYARMRA.com/LFA-TV. Tryarmor.com/Lima, Foxtrot, Alpha, Tango, Victor. Tryarmor.com/LFA-TV. Real quick before we go for the day, GOP lawmakers are initiating contempt of Congress proceedings against Bill Clinton. All right, let's see where they go. The left wanted to do this. Hey, we'll throw a 70-plus-year-old guy in jail and Peter Navarro. We'll throw Steve Bannon in jail. Okay. Bill Clinton wants to defy a subpoena in the Epstein probe. How come nobody's calling Bill Clinton a pedophile protector, by the way? Right? Like, they were bringing him in there to answer questions about Jeffrey Epstein, and he decided not to come in. He's refusing the subpoena. How come the woke right isn't focusing any of their ire on Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton and calling them pedophile protectors or pedophile enablers? Ask yourself that one. That's interesting, right? I say throw the entire book at them. The entire book. The Department of Justice should absolutely put Bill Clinton in jail. What was it? Steve Bannon and Navarro for 90 days? Contempt of Congress? Same thing. Why are you doing that? Oh, it's just political. You did it first. We're just following your lead. Remember, rules. What are the rules? That's still in here on the rules here, that you can put people in jail over contempt of Congress. Seems pretty cut and dry, too. He's refusing the subpoena. Hold him in contempt. And throw him in jail for 90 days. I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that. Folks, we're going to be coming up on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show from 11 to 12 Central Time. That's 1 to 2 Eastern Time. You could watch that on X at Michael P. Leahy. It's Michael P. Leahy. The Michael Patrick Leahy Show, the Tennessee Bonus Hour, will be on there in about an hour. Jeremy Harrell coming up next with Live from America right here on LFA TV, rumble.com/LFA TV. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you hit that follow button as well right here on rumble.com/LFA TV. It's very important that you share this link out with your friends, that you do hit that thumbs up button for us as well, and that you're following the channel. It's very, very important, so please do that. As President Trump says, we will never give up, we will never give in, we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just flip you the bird, right? We're going to flip you the bird. Now, if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Have a tremendous rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place, rumble.com/LFA TV at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Till then, have a great rest of your Wednesday. Bang, gavel. Good night, everybody. And as our president would say, thank you for your attention to this matter.